now want to talk about what do we think some of the problems in doing business are, and some of maybe as people from outside looking into the Turkish market, what the structure of the market looks like. Is it too heavy in certain areas? Pamir, what's your impression of the one thing that struck me yesterday when we were watching those 33 pitches was a huge. They were really in two categories. There were a lot of games, people making games, and there were an awful lot of people in e-commerce. Was that a problem for you? Is that a problem for you?
No, not necessarily. Actually, we're looking at all sectors. I think the only problem we see right now in Turkey is we see a lot of companies which address an opportunity that's too small. So it doesn't get us out of bed. It's not that exciting. And for us to get excited, we need companies where we can see fairly quickly a revenue ramp up. If it's software, the $50, $100 million. If it's e-commerce, definitely it has to go north of $100 million quickly in top line revenue. Otherwise, it's not going to be a very exciting exit, and therefore we're not going to realize very exciting returns.
So 100 million, they've got to get there pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. Take notes. 100 million. You want to see that in your...
And that's dollars, not tele, by the way. No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
So, look, at the end of the day, it's all about, I think, there's this saying that somebody told me the other day that apparently Alan Sugar, he's a famous British businessman, says, which is, revenue is vanity, profit is sanity, and cash is king. And so probably my focus on top line revenue is slightly misplaced. But obviously there are certain ratios on profitability and so on that you expect in e-commerce. I think we've been also spoiled in Turkey with some great successes like Marcafoni, like Trendyol, like Gitti Gidiyor. And those are the types of successes that we also try to strive for as investors. And one of my fears right now, just to address your question, is that I see a lot of great entrepreneurs, great teams, but that to me seem to focus on opportunities that are too small.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Yes, I want to pick up, because you say you cover from the Baltics to Balkans.
Exactly.
There's a sweep of European history. If we take the Baltics, you've got the three Baltic states there. The one I know best is Estonia.
Yeah.
Estonia has a population of 1.3 million people. What's the population of Istanbul? 17. Okay, there you go. Right. So Istanbul could go to war with Estonia and beat the crap out of them. But Estonia has this fantastic dynamic ecosystem, produces more startups per head of population than any country, pretty much any country in the world.
Yeah.
Is Turkey's size, paradoxically, is Turkey actually too big? So it's too inward-looking.
Exactly. That's a very good point, and that is what I feel. That many of the talented entrepreneurs here are excited about the size of their own market, and when they launch startups, they focus on their own market, and they see potentially very good numbers on that market. So the focus is there. And well, I'm happy if I make it big here. That will be really great. Whereas, interestingly enough, that's exactly the same problem we see in Poland, which is obviously a smaller country than Turkey, but still the mentality in that sense is almost the same. So very good, talented entrepreneurs focus on their own market rather than think really big, think global. Whereas in countries like Estonia, they have no other choice than think global. So that's why a number of very interesting plays are coming out of some of the Baltic countries. Mostly, of course, not in consumer internet plays, but technology businesses. So my point is here, I didn't have the honor of watching yesterday's presentations, but have been to similar events in Turkey. And what we see is these gaming companies and e-commerce companies and various, most most locally focused. Okay, the gaming's maybe not, but the most locally focused plays, and less the ambition to go global with some very funky, interesting, for instance,
Yeah,
software
I don't agree yet.